Hi and welcome. Today's conversation is about self-worth. I define self-worth as the deep-rooted belief that I am enough. Enough to be loved, enough to belong, enough to have and enjoy the abundance that exists all around me. Now, getting here was a journey. See, for many years, I worked tirelessly to build a life that looked good on the outside. It took me years to realize that having the houses, the cars, the money didn't bring me true fulfillment. On my journey, I started reading about the feminine and the masculine energy, and I noticed patterns. I noticed that I was operating mostly from a wounded feminine energy. I made a different video on that if you are interested in learning about the wounded feminine energy. In a nutshell, the wounded feminine does not know that she is enough. She is seeking to be loved, to be accepted, to be validated by others. She attaches her worth to external circumstances. When she's in a romantic relationship, that means that she's worthy of love. When she has friends, that means that she's worthy of belonging. And she'll do anything to hold on to those circumstances. Therefore, she will quickly and easily find herself in abusive relationships. Once I had awareness over how the wounded feminine showed up in my life, I got curious about what I could do differently to allow for a healthy feminine energy to come forward. This led me into building a true sense of self-worth. I decided that I was comfortable with not pleasing everyone. Even God had Satan, so I decided that it was okay not to be liked by everyone. I also decided to not feel guilty when I took time to rest. I understood that resting helped me show up at my best self. Finally, I decided to show up for myself in ways that I wish others showed up for me. So I became my own best cheerleader. I reframed my self-talk into one that is empowering, that is uplifting, and full of self-compassion. What helped me embody these decisions and stand by them day in and day out was spirituality. It was my trust in a higher power. On my journey of healing the wounded feminine energy, I built a strong foundation in faith. I knew that God loved me. So this gave me a starting point to build an authentic self-love. I also knew that the love of God is unconditional. So I removed myself from any relationship that required conditional love. This extended to friendships and family dynamics. I also knew that I was born fully worthy. So I refused to lessen myself. My baseline is simple. I am born fully worthy. My worth has been gifted to me by Source. So why should I allow another human to dictate my worth? Why should I allow them to reduce me into something that I am not? I knew that I was a being of immense value and worth. And that knowing grew bigger every time I found myself in situations where my worth was questioned. When you know that your worth is in it, when you remember that you were born fully worthy, you don't have to shout it, you don't have to claim it even. You fully embody this truth, and people will feel it. Defining my values, grounding myself in faith, embodying my values in every decision, every action that I took, made me build true self-worth. I now move through the world grounded in a deep sense of worth. Thanks for watching.